and thank you for joining us for Bible Bits. Tonight we have old-time preaching and preachers, and it is Raul Ries' turn. He is pastor out in California, and he was saved under the ministry of Chuck Smith, Calvary Chapel. Raul's been ministering for over 50 years now, and he's also a pretty humorous fellow sometimes. He has a message here about New Year's resolutions, how by 12:01 we break them. I would say he lasted a lot longer than most. We lie to God the instant we make them. So here it is. Take a listen, tell us what you think.
So to read the scriptures for so many years, and I wrote a couple things down that I want to talk to you about the New Year. We started with promises that we make. I don't know how many years, I've celebrated the 1st of January, which is the beginning of a new year. And immediately 12:01, I'm already breaking the promises I made before God. And living in these last days, and the days we're living in today, it's really a time not to make promises, but to really live. Those things that we talk about, to really do them. Because if we don't do them, how are people going to believe you or believe what you're teaching or what you're preaching? How are they going to put their faith in Christ if you don't really have your faith in Christ? And I wrote this down. Not only we start with a lot of promises we make, but what should be my life in obedience to Christ? What should it be like? Well, I wrote down one. First of all, we need to have a prayer life, for sure. Prayer, I don't think is as important to the church today as it was way back in the 1500s, 16, 17, 1800s, where we see there were no television, no movies, nothing that distracted. They had a lot of time, to sleep, a lot of time to think, a lot of time to read. And that's how we got Spurgeon, Moody, all these guys from the old days that we have books about today, Spurgeon. There were people that really spent time in prayer, asking God, Lord, what do you want me to speak about? What do you want me to write about?
I can tell you one thing. Some of Raul's heroes, Nathan Van Cleve, Chuck Smith, Guy Duffield, Leslie Eno, they all prayed. Jack Hayford. And, back in the 60s and 70s, it was a pretty sacred and awesome duty to pray. I have to agree with him. I don't think the church emphasizes much anymore along those lines. Something to think about. Please leave a comment and hit subscribe. Join us daily. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thanks again for joining us. Lord keeping me around, Lord keeping you around, and the Lord tarrying and willing to be patient before he comes again. Look up. Your redemption draws nigh. It can be any time. Twinkling of an eye. Be ready. In that case, God bless you. Have a great day. Grow in faith. Grow in love for one another. And remember, you can't do anything more or less to get in or out of heaven. Jesus has done it for you.